extremely appreciative of Sequoyah, and I just wanted to come and share with you tonight. Thank you. Thank you. At Saudi Daisy High School, I'm really not sure where we would be without them. What they give to us on an annual basis is, in my eyes, phenomenal. They are one of our, I can't remember the name of it, but they are like a cooperating business that helps us. And through the years, the 4 years that I've been at Saudi Daisy, they've donated over $54,000. And we've used this to purchase computers, Dare Week where we bring activities in, teachers going to in-service trainings. They've done repair work to our school, they've done repair work to our ball fields. A lot of what they've done would not be done without them. There's things such as funding training.
Any other questions or comments? Just up there, this microphone.
I have a couple of questions. When the inspection of the central raw pollutant water system, did that touch upon any aspects of concrete management, concrete degradation, some of the issues that Seabrook and other plants are having? Was that at least a subset of what was going on?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, the question that was asked is if during the inspection of the essential raw pollutant water system, whether or not that addressed or covered inspection of concrete and structures associated or surrounded by the system. The answer is yes. During the walkdowns that we did of the system, we focus first on the system, but also on surrounding structures and the condition of all the structures that surround us, the areas that we walk down. In addition to that, in October, during the Unit 1 refueling outage, one of our team members, Mr. Lake, he conducted a walk down of the containment, also to address the material condition of the concrete. So yes, during all the walk downs that we did within the facility during this inspection, we pay attention to everything that this thing's called license rule. Concrete and structures being long-lived passive structure is the primary focus of our inspection. And if I remember correctly, there's one of the aging management programs, if I'm not mistaken, is a structural monitoring program, contains part of the scope of the program is to address or look for indication for concrete issues like alkali silicon reactions. I heard a lot, when I asked one of my team members, is that accurate statement?
In their lesson, you can actually see that the ASR was not just a TVA based on the picture used for concrete structures. However, during the lockdown, it was requested, have you look for ASR in these structures that we do have? And they specifically stated that yes, they were based on the information that they did a thorough walkthrough and looked for all their concrete structures to see if they saw any evidence of ASR, and they concluded that no.
Could you please review that next week? For the benefit of people in the bridge.
Yes, the question was ASR looked for during this inspection? In the alkali silica reaction of concrete, which is ASR. And the response was yes, it was looked at. We went through the walk down, and while we were at the ERCW building, that estimate was posed to their staff whether or not they had been looking for this condition in the concrete, and they concluded based on the information notice that they had looked through all their concrete structures for any evidence of ASR, and it was concluded that they did not find any evidence. In addition, the license renewal application stated that it was not a concern at TVA in Sequoyah because of the composition of their concrete that they're required to use to build the structures.
Any additional questions?
You have another question, right?
The second question is a little different. You selected one system and did a fairly thorough, robust review of that one. How did you convince yourself that those results were applicable to the other in-scope systems that weren't reviewed?
Yeah, the question we got is for the scoping and screening part of the inspection, we selected one system, which is the essential raw clean water system. How our review of the system and our assessment of their scoping and screening process give us, shows that that process was adequately implementing our system structures and components in the plant. Is that an accurate characterization? Yeah, we selected the system as a sample, but we had interviews with the staff who conducted scoping and screening interviews for all the systems, and we selected the essential raw cooling water system as our primary sample. For doing that, we look at the process that they use. In addition to that, in April timeframe, as Steve described in the timeline, the NRC conducted an audit of the scoping and screening process. So they looked specifically at the methodology that they use for scoping and screening inspections. And for the benefit of those who don't understand the difference between both, scoping is the process of identifying everything within the scope of license renewal. And screening is the process where you go through each of your system and identify what material it is, what condition is it exposed, what potential aging effects are applicable to that combination of material and environment, and how it needs to be managed during the period of extended operation. So this process, the audit looked at the process. We also took care of the process for the ERCW, which was a similar process for all the system. That gives us the confidence that the approach for scoping and screening gave us a reasonable assurance that it was adequately implemented in accordance with property.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am?
Yes. You'll have to excuse me, but because there is no microphone being used in your presentation, and because you filled in so many details that were not on the screen, I'm wondering if the text of what you said is available somewhere as your summary.
Yeah, the question from a member of the public is essentially the details that we described along with the slides could be available for the public.
We put it in the meeting summary with the attachment to the meeting summary.
And when will that be posted?
Within about 10 days.
And also, a lot of the details that you just heard will be described in the inspection report that will be issued according by the inspector.
I was just curious because I know you were summarizing a lot of
Yes.
this report.
They'll both be put into atoms with ML numbers for both the slides and the script. So we'll provide that through the public site.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Gary Morgan. Y'all's license renewal inspection for this leg of the procedure, did y'all take a look at security or in community health for this, or is that separate?
That is not part of the license renewal process.
Security is not part of license renewal?
That's an active, ongoing program that gets inspected routinely by our reactor oversight process. Yearly it gets inspected, so it's not a part of the aging management program.
So basically, it's what I'm getting at, is trying to focus on specifically what y'all focused on. So in health, it would not be, community health would not be part of that either.
There is a environmental impact statement that gets developed, which our headquarters office will be issuing here probably early next year, which will discuss how operating Sequoyah for an additional 20 years affects the local environment. That's probably where they'll talk about that type of information.
So then, community, I know you're going to correct me if I'm wrong in this statement I'm fixing to lead up to. So in the license renewal process, community health and security has nothing to do with license renewal?
The security does not. Security is part of an ongoing
Sure.
active program that we would expect.
But if there's-
Community health, how we get involved in community health, it's an active ongoing programs, is We have our radiation safety program inspections, which reviews and inspects licensees' issue radiation health programs and how they monitor and track and control the release of radioactive material within the environment. That's how we get involved in that. And that's on a yearly basis, inspection too.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Is there an avenue for us to comment on the safety report once it's published?
The question is, if members of the public have the opportunity to comment on I guess we're referring to the NRR, nuclear reactor regulation of the safety evaluation report
Yes.
when it's issued. I'm going to refer that question to Paula Cooper.
Formally, unfortunately, there is not. However, informally, you can submit any comments or questions to Rick Kloss, which is the safety project manager for NR and the division license renewal. Rick is RICK dot PLASSE. He as in Paul.
His name is in one of the handouts that we provided for the Sequoyah license renewal status. The project manager names are there for the safety and environmental. They're on the
fact sheet?
yeah, no, it's on the Sequoyah license renewal status handout that we provided. I think it's that what happened. Those the three names at the bottom of that page.
Rick Plus?
Yeah, that's a
I
project.
have an address.
It's rick.kloss@nrc.gov would be his email.
Okay, got it.
So if you have any concerns, you can forward those to him and he'd be able to respond to you. However, there is no formal process like the environmental impact statement does.
Okay, any other questions from the audience? Yes, sir?
I have a statement I'd like to make. It's not a question.
Yes, who would like to-
Who's on the phone? Is there a group of people or some of your staff?
One staff,
My name is Hardy Stultz, STULCE. I'm the city manager for the city of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee.
Yes, ma'am?
I can't help it.
Okay.
I'll try to talk a little bit louder. My name is Hardy Stultz, STULCE. I'm the city manager for the city of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Did you get that? They can tell you later. I'm not much of a public speaker, and I'm not trying to do anything other than urge the NRC. How many of you have been with the NRC 25 years or longer? Does the name Jerry Valentine ring a bell with you? That's maybe 35 years. I'll tell my age in a minute. I'm almost 59 years old. I've lived here my entire life. I'm here tonight to represent the City Council, Mayor Janice Cagle, Vice Mayor Rick Dunley, along with our entire Board of Commissioners. Now, Jerry Valentine, this was his plant. He owned it. Okay? He was site director, plant manager, VP of operations, whatever name it was called at that time. We established a relationship with him. I did back in 1972. I was a volunteer firefighter. We were the only fire department north of the city of Chattanooga at that time. We were heavily involved with TVA during the construction years as well as the early years of operation. We are still the primary off-site first responding agency. Since 1972, I have served on the city council. I have served as mayor. I have been with the fire department for 43 years now, and we have a very close relationship with TVA. But for some reason, so you say, okay, here's the money question. We never got impact money. If any TVA people here know about impact money, a lot of little towns throughout the valley, when I say the valley, I talk about the TVA region, ran up to TVA, oh, we're glad you're here, build us a fire station. Oh, we're glad you're here, give us this, give us that. Well, Saudi Daisy incorporated shortly after they started digging the holes out here in the ground. I flew over them back in the 60s and saw it was just tremendous. It was a wonderment to the community because this used to be out in the middle of nowhere. I won't bore you to death, but the important thing NRC needs to understand is TVA's involvement and commitment to things that were not required, nor were we being paid. We felt we took great pride in being part of something new that was coming to the region that I can't tell you the benefits that it has brought. You all know that, what an impact it has. But I can talk to you about trust. We trusted TVA in the early days, and that wasn't just based on some report generated by someone else. It was based on the fact that back in the 30s, they harnessed a river without GPS, without GIS mapping. They harnessed a river and turned a territory of the nation into what it is today. There would be no combustion engineering, DuPont, or any of these U.S. pipe and foundry. All these things that have happened in the Chattanooga region, not to mention Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina. And that trust is based on not reading it in a report, it's the actions TVA has done over the years in spite of the federal government. Now, had TVA been left alone back in the 70s and early 80s when they had 5 nuclear plants under construction, and the extreme heavy clean coal, which I've never seen any clean coal, and I've been around a lot of them, the issue that everybody likes to bring up that happened at Kingston would never have happened, because had TVA been left alone to do what it was doing, we would have had 5 more nuclear plants in operation, much like Sequoyah has. Most definitely a flawless operation is considered to the magnitude of what it is, and the pollution issue that took place would never happen because the majority of the coal plants would have been mothballed by now. That being said, we were heavily involved, trainings, drills, inspections, walk-downs, first name basis. We have seen the security change tremendously from what it used to be to what it is today. And we are certainly confident that TVA will continue to do what they have done in the past, and that is to provide safe, reliable power. And if there is a problem with the aging systems, I'm sure they will be proactive instead of reactive in taking care of that. And if any, we urge NRC that we feel, and I speak for the entire community and our Board of Commissioners, that we certainly feel that TVA is trustworthy and they have earned our trust. And the latest example of that, the plant has a new owner, a local person who was raised here, who his entire family here is the owner now. He has taken ownership of the plant manager. And I have a cell phone number in my pocket. And we have open lines if there's ever an issue. We do have the required procedure step by step, but we trust TVA. And thank you for your time.
Well, thank you. Okay. Any other questions or comments?